Welcome to the Coins Quest, the channel where every coin tells a hidden story and every small piece of metal could hold a fortune in your pocket change. And today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable modern commemorative coins ever minted, the 2007 Utah quarter dollar. A coin that at first glance looks just like any other state quarter but has turned out to be worth as much as $339,000 because of the extraordinary minting errors and production anomalies that make it a once-in-a-lifetime treasure for collectors around the world. Now, the Utah quarter, part of the U.S. Mint's State Quarters program, was issued in 2007 to celebrate Utah's admission to the Union in 1896, featuring the iconic image of two trains meeting at the famous Golden Spike at Promontory Point, symbolizing the linking of the Eastern and Western railroads, the very crossroad of the West that helped define America's growth. But hidden within this beautiful design are some of the rarest and most unusual minting mistakes that have ever been recorded in modern U.S. coinage history, errors that transform an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The first thing that sets the 2007 Utah quarter apart is the mint mark itself, the small letter P, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, indicating that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of state quarters were struck that year. But among those millions, a handful were produced with striking anomalies caused by mechanical malfunctions, double dies, die clashes, and off-center strikes that created distinctive patterns unlike any other. Some of the rarest Utah quarters feature what is known as a double die obverse error, where the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, or even the portrait of George Washington show doubling when viewed under magnification. This doubling occurs when the die, the metal stamp used to impress the design onto the blank coin planchet, shifts slightly between strikes, creating a ghost-like or shadowed appearance that can be easily detected by trained eyes. Collectors have reported examples of Utah quarters with strong doubling on the inscriptions, as well as on Washington's eye and chin area, giving the coin a distinctive appearance that immediately raises its value. Then there are the die cracks and die breaks, tiny fractures in the die that leave raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coin. On some 2007 Utah quarters, these die breaks appear right across the trains or even near the golden spike, making them look as though lightning has struck across the design, a dramatic and visually fascinating flaw that adds to the uniqueness and rarity of each coin. Another highly desirable error seen on these quarters is the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin's surface. This can result in part of the design being cut off or missing, with some coins showing as much as 20% to 50% off-centering. Errors like these are always eye-catching and are often the reason collectors pay big money. The 2007 Utah quarter also has examples of broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside of the retaining collar, causing it to expand in size and lose its reeded edge. These broad-struck coins look odd and oversized compared to normal quarters, but because they are authentic mint mistakes, they fetch enormous premiums. Perhaps the most astonishing type of Utah quarter error is the double-struck or multiple-struck variety, where the coin was hit more than once by the press without being properly ejected, resulting in overlapping images or distorted lettering that make the coin look almost surreal. Some examples of these have sold for tens of thousands alone, but when combined with the right conditions, like a PE mint mark, strong doubling, and clean surfaces, the value skyrockets into six figures. And then there are the transitional and planchet errors, which occur when a coin is struck on a metal blank meant for another denomination or year. There have been reports of Utah quarters struck on nickel or dime planchets, weighing less than normal, and these transitional strikes are among the rarest errors a collector can find. Imagine a Utah quarter that weighs 5 grams instead of the usual 5.67. That subtle difference could mean the coin was struck on the wrong metal disc, instantly transforming it from pocket change to a $50,000 artifact. Now, add in a double strike, die crack, or lamination error, where parts of the metal layer peel or flake off due to poor adhesion during minting, and suddenly that small piece of metal can reach auction prices of $339,000 or more, depending on condition and rarity. But what makes these coins truly fascinating isn't just the mechanical error, it's the story behind them. The 2007 Utah quarter was minted during a time of massive production for the state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and saw billions of coins released into circulation. During such high-speed production, the chance for error increased significantly, and the Philadelphia Mint was operating at near capacity, producing coins around the clock. This pressure often led to misaligned dies, improper planchets, or worn machinery that could produce unexpected results. Many of these coins escaped the mint undetected, slipping quietly into everyday change, vending machines, or bank rolls, waiting years to be rediscovered by an unsuspecting collector or coin roll hunter who would realize that a simple quarter could be worth more than a house. The Utah design itself, with its fine details and linear symmetry of the trains and tracks, makes errors particularly visible. Doubling or misalignment in this design stands out more dramatically than on other state quarters, so when a minting flaw occurs, it's obvious and visually striking, which makes collectors all the more eager to own one. Experts have documented several varieties of the 2007 Utah quarter that combine multiple errors, like double dies with die cracks or lamination errors, making them exceptionally rare. Even the slightest visible doubling or off-centering can increase a coin's value from mere cents to hundreds or thousands of dollars, but coins that feature multiple visible errors in mint state condition, especially graded by PCGS or NGC as MS65 or higher, have been auctioned for extraordinary prices. A pristine 2007 Utah quarter showing double striking, die cracks, and strong doubling under magnification could easily reach $339,000 in today's collector market. Another major factor behind the value of these coins is their scarcity. Unlike coins with mass-produced mint marks or reissued designs, each era coin is unique. No two are exactly alike. Every die crack forms in a slightly different place, every off-center strike results in a unique pattern, and every lamination error produces a distinct texture. This individuality transforms each coin into a one-of-one collectible artifact, like a fingerprint of the mint's history. Coin experts often say that mint errors are like lightning strikes, rare, unpredictable, and powerful when they happen, and that's exactly the case with the Utah quarter. But beyond the technical details, there's also the collector psychology at play. The thrill of discovering a rare error coin in circulation has inspired countless coin hunters, and videos and articles showcasing Utah quarter discoveries have gone viral across the numismatic community, driving up demand and raising market prices even further. When the word spread that some 2007 Utah quarters were selling for hundreds of thousands, it triggered a modern gold rush, with people everywhere checking their change jars, old rolls, and coin collections. And while not every Utah quarter is valuable, the possibility that one could be worth $339,000 is enough to keep collectors and treasure hunters on their toes. Even minor errors from this series can fetch hundreds or thousands depending on the specifics. A Utah quarter with a rotated die error, for example, where the reverse design is rotated relative to the obverse, can be worth several $1,000s, while one with strong machine doubling or die deterioration doubling might bring in hundreds. The most dramatic examples, though, often end up in professional coin grading slabs, where authentication and certification confirm their rarity. These coins become permanent pieces of numismatic history, representing not just a mistake but a fascinating story of the U.S. Mint's craftsmanship, imperfection, and evolution. And what's most captivating is how the Utah quarter embodies the theme it celebrates: crossroads. Just as Utah marked the meeting point of America's railroads, this coin represents the meeting of art, history, and luck. It's the crossroads where precision meets imperfection, and where an everyday object becomes a priceless treasure. So, as you dig through your spare change, keep your eyes open for the 2007 Utah quarter, especially ones that look slightly off, misaligned, or show doubling or cracks. Check the edges, inspect the trains, look closely at the lettering, and don't dismiss even the smallest irregularity. That tiny flaw might be the key to uncovering one of the rarest coins ever to leave the Philadelphia Mint. Because out there, in circulation or hiding in someone's forgotten drawer, could be a coin that transforms ordinary collectors into the lucky few who hold a $339,000 masterpiece. This is why the 2007 Utah quarter remains one of the most sought-after pieces in modern U.S. numismatics, a coin born from error but celebrated for perfection in rarity, a testament to how even the smallest imperfection can hold unimaginable value, and a shining example of why the coin's quest exists: to uncover, understand, and celebrate the hidden treasures that turn pocket change into legends. Next, 2004 commemorative USA coin. Continuing our incredible journey through America's hidden numismatic treasures here on the Coin's Quest, we move from the crossroads of the West to the proud heart of the South, the Lone Star State itself, where another remarkable coin has captured the attention of collectors and historians alike: the 2004 Texas Quarter Dollar. A commemorative masterpiece that celebrates Texas's admission to the Union in 1845, and one that, due to an extraordinary set of minting errors and rare anomalies, has been valued by experts at an astounding $112,500. This isn't just another state quarter. This is a piece of U.S. mint history born out of precision gone awry, a coin that transforms from a simple 25-cent piece into a six-figure treasure because of the rare combination of mechanical and material mistakes that occurred during its production at the Denver Mint. When the Texas State Quarter was released in 2004, it was part of the hugely successful State Quarters program, designed to honor each of the 50 states with unique reverse designs. Texas's design, created by sculptor Norman E. Namath, features a bold five-pointed star, the Lone Star that symbolizes the state's independence and pride, set against an outline of the state itself, surrounded by branches of the live oak, the state tree of Texas, and the inscription, "The Lone Star State." It's a stunning design, powerful in its simplicity and meaning, and millions were struck for circulation. But as with all high-volume minting runs, not every coin came out perfectly, and in the case of some rare 2004 Texas quarters, imperfections in the minting process led to spectacular and highly valuable error coins that today are prized by collectors across the world. The Denver Mint, responsible for the DE mint mark on these coins, produced hundreds of millions of quarters that year. But under intense production pressure, even the smallest mechanical deviation could lead to dramatic results. One of the most notable and valuable errors found in the 2004 Texas Quarter series is the double die error, both on the obverse, front, and reverse, back. Under magnification, certain examples revealed doubling in the inscriptions: United States of America, e pluribus unum, or quarter dollar, as well as on the details of the Lone Star or state outline. This doubling occurs when the die strikes the planchet twice in slightly different positions, creating a shadow-like effect that adds a ghostly depth to the design. Such doubled dies are highly sought after because they are visually distinctive and irrefutable evidence of a minting anomaly, and the stronger and clearer the doubling, the higher the value. In the case of the Texas Quarter, specimens with sharp doubling on both sides have been recorded selling for tens of thousands of dollars, with pristine, mid-state graded examples achieving valuations approaching $112,500. Another category of valuable errors in the Texas Quarter involves die cracks and cuds, imperfections caused by the die breaking under the immense pressure of minting. Over time, as the dies wear out, small fractures develop, producing raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coins. On the Texas Quarter, these cracks are sometimes found cutting through the Lone Star, outlining parts of the state border, or even appearing near the date, 1845, giving each coin a one-of-a-kind appearance. When the cracks become large enough that a piece of the die face breaks off entirely, a cud forms, a blob-like area with missing details that appears raised and rough. Cuds are relatively rare, and when they occur on state quarters, especially in visible or symbolic areas of the design, they can fetch incredible prices. Collectors love these errors because each cud tells a story of wear, pressure, and metal fatigue inside the mint's machinery, essentially capturing the moment the die began to fail. But that's not all. Some 2004 Texas quarters are known to exhibit off-center strikes, where the coin design is misaligned, leaving a portion of the blank planchet exposed and cutting off part of the image. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, these coins can range in value from a few $100s to several thousand. The most valuable examples are those where both the mint mark, D, and essential design elements are visible but clearly displaced. the perfect combination of imperfection and completeness that collectors crave. Broad strike errors, too, are found among this group. These occur when the collar that normally restrains the coin during striking malfunctions, allowing the metal to spread out beyond its normal boundary. This gives the coin a slightly larger diameter and smooth edge instead of the standard reeded one. Broad-struck Texas quarters are rare, but when they appear, they are instantly recognizable and highly collectible, especially when accompanied by other errors like doubling or die cracks. One of the most exciting and valuable varieties reported in the 2004 Texas quarter is the double-struck error, where the coin is struck twice or even multiple times without being properly ejected from the press. The result is overlapping images, distorted lettering, and sometimes visible outlines of the Lone Star and state border appearing in multiple positions. These dramatic errors make for stunning visual pieces and are often auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars. Combine such an error with a clean surface and high-grade condition, and you've got a coin worthy of its $112,500 valuation. Another rare phenomenon seen in a few Texas quarters is the die cap error. In this type of error, a coin sticks to one of the dies during production, and subsequent coins are struck underneath it, creating deeply concave or capped surfaces that distort the design. These coins are visually striking and mechanically fascinating, often regarded as some of the most desirable modern mint errors because of their unusual appearance and rarity. Additionally, planchet errors, where the metal blank itself is flawed or mismatched, can also contribute significantly to value. Some Texas quarters have been discovered struck on planchets intended for nickels or foreign coins, resulting in off-weight examples that are lighter or heavier than the standard 5.67 grams. These transitional or wrong planchet strikes are among the most valuable error types known, because they represent a direct breach of mint protocol and are almost impossible to replicate. Coins struck on wrong planchets can bring tens of thousands alone, and when such an error occurs on a popular state quarter design like Texas, it amplifies demand among both error specialists and general collectors. Another spectacular type of error found on rare Texas quarters is the struck-through error, where a foreign object, such as a piece of cloth, wire, or grease, comes between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving an indented or textured mark. These struck-through errors are fascinating because they tell a story of what was happening in the mint at that exact moment. Tiny fragments of material caught in the machinery that left their permanent signature on the coin. The Denver Mint's massive production pace in 2004 also led to multiple examples of machine doubling, a form of doubling caused not by a misaligned die but by die bounce or movement during striking. While machine doubling is generally less valuable than a true doubled die, extreme examples where the effect is bold and clear can still command high premiums, especially when collectors find examples that combine this with other types of errors. Coins with multiple visible anomalies, like off-center strikes combined with doubling, die cracks, or planchet flaws, are particularly prized because of their visual uniqueness and scarcity. And of course, condition matters enormously. Many of the Texas quarters that fetch high prices are in mint state, MS, or proof-like condition, meaning they show no circulation wear and retain their original luster and sharpness. A 2004 Texas quarter with strong mint luster, bold doubling, and a significant die crack or cud, graded MS 65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, could easily command $112,500 or more in the open market today. But what makes the Texas quarter truly special, beyond its errors, is its symbolism and history. The Lone Star design embodies Texas's fierce independence and proud heritage, making it one of the most beloved state quarter designs ever released. That emotional connection adds a layer of demand that goes beyond mere rarity. Collectors who grew up in Texas or have personal ties to the state often seek out this coin specifically, and when a major error variety surfaces, competition can be fierce. There's also the thrill factor. The idea that a simple quarter from everyday change could be worth more than a luxury car or even a small home. That's what drives the excitement behind these discoveries. Stories have surfaced of people finding Texas quarters with visible doubling or off-center strikes in circulation or in old rolls, later discovering their coins were worth thousands. And even today, many collectors believe there are still undiscovered error coins out there, sitting unnoticed in jars or collections, waiting for sharp eyes to spot them. The 2004 D Texas quarter stands as a perfect example of how small imperfections can lead to monumental value. Each misaligned die, cracked planchet, or mistimed strike adds a layer of intrigue, turning what was supposed to be a flawless piece of uniform currency into a unique artifact of history. Every collector who holds one of these rare quarters knows they're holding a snapshot of the mint's mechanical heartbeat, a frozen moment when metal, pressure, and precision misfire just enough to create something extraordinary. This is the magic of coin collecting, where a mistake becomes a masterpiece, and an ordinary object becomes a treasure. So, the next time you come across a 2004 D Texas quarter, don't just glance at the lone star. Inspect it closely under good light. Look for doubling on the lettering, raised lines across the design, or even a slightly off-center appearance. Check the edges for broad striking, and weigh the coin if possible, because even the smallest deviation might mean you're holding one of the rarest error quarters ever made. Remember, the coin that looks like just another piece of change might actually be a $112,500 miracle. And that's the thrill of the coin's quest, discovering hidden fortunes, one coin at a time, and reminding everyone that the tiniest details can turn the ordinary into something truly legendary.